It is finally here. After months of work, we officially have our own Linux distro. Now, before telling you literally everything, let me just point out that the link to our website is down in the description, which you can download the distro from and try it out for yourself. I highly suggest watching the tutorial at the end of our video because you can't install it without that. You can also find our Telegram and Discord channel while you're there. Feel free to check it out and say hi. Now, how did we even got here? Well, it was as simple as a basic YouTube idea. My friend, aka the editor, is a Linux nerd, and well, he decided that making an Arch-based Linux distro would make one hell of a YouTube video. And here we are, Pixi Linux. For the start, this is an Arch-based distro, so yeah, I use Arch by the way. We all know that Arch is an absolute pain in the ass to install, let alone work with. But what if it wasn't? And that's the whole point of this distro, to make Arch feel like a butter in a pan. Here, you meet my best friend, Archizo, which is basically Arch but raw. This is the base of our distro. Everything you need, fully customizable, right in front of your eyes. But what is a distro without its own indicated package manager? What I came up with was this right here. Pixi install s syu and you know, all the typical pacman commands. But take a second and look at it. It awfully resembles an already existing code that someone just took, changed 2 lines of it and called it their own. Which is exactly what happened. Now I can just throw that in trash cause that's where it belongs, but I don't want to do that. This is where you get to know Pixi 2.0. If I run this command here, you'll see that every pacman command is fully replaced by Pixi commands. And you're gonna forget what you saw and never talk about it. Thank you. Good boy. Oh, and if you're gonna say,
"Oh, I thought you were making your own package manager. This is just redoing the same one."
look at yourself. This is you right now. I'm making a distro, okay? Not a whole operating system. I don't need to make a whole package manager from scratch. And speaking of which, this is how it looks like. Pixi install, the name of your package, and magic happens. Alrighty, what's next? Exactly, a fastfetch theme. Now let's make a source folder for this bad boy and spend 30 minutes coding fastfetch. Now let's snatch our logo in there and wow, pretty, isn't it? But wait. Did you catch that? This bitch has 32 gigs of RAM on Linux! Anyway, what's next? Wow, how are you guessing? Of course it's a GUI, which for our distro is gonna be Hyperland, and if you don't like it, it's a you problem. I mean, come on, this is an Arch-based distro, you gotta maintain some level of misery. But don't worry my cuties, unlike most Hyperland guides, this one's easy, cause all you have to do is type one simple command and your Hyperland is ready, thanks to our magnificent Pixi command here. Here's how it works. First, I had to write the command itself, which is gonna be linked to one of the easy but pretty Hyperland races. Cause Hyperland by itself is basically a blank screen, which is why I decided to use Jaculi config for it. You can find a link in the description. Now after this auto config is coded, it's time to test it. We should do whatever the hell is happening here and run the command. Now don't doubt me, yes there's an error, but it's because I already downloaded the Hyperland config, and Git only lets me have it once, which if I go and remove it and run the command again, you'll see that it works. Don't you ever dare doubt my intellect again, and because you did, you have to subscribe now. And also like the video. Let's open a YouTuber, shall we? Alright, only a few more steps to go. As of now, we need to integrate the name of this distro into all aspects of Linux. In our custom ISO, there's a file called hostname, which its sole purpose is to showcase the name of whatever Linux you're using, which we can change by simply writing our own name down. Pretty simple, right? But that'll cause some confusion cause this is just a surface name. Things like Network Manager, Logs, or even Fastfetch will still use the same original name, meaning you'll still see Arch as your distro name. To change that, we have to make another file to indicate to every aspect of distro that PixiOS is the name of this distro, wherever, whenever, using these 3 simple lines, which you can easily guess what it does. And from now on, this name is locked and loaded to be showcased anywhere. can you guess what the next step is? Well, cheers to the ones who can, cause it is grub time. Mostly customizing grub. Alright, first of all, what is in a grub theme file? Most importantly, you get a theme config, connecting everything. You get to change the grub background or even change this big ass text while booting, and interestingly, all the icons too, cause grub does need to showcase whatever OS you're using, and we're gonna customize them all, starting with this text right here, changing it to Pixi family cause I love all you cuties. Then we need a background resembling the same theme of our channel, and with all that, only icons remain. Now this video is the first ever proof of Pixi Linux existence, so I'm not sure what he's gonna do. Really? That's your solution? Oh my fucking god. Well, I mean, if it works, it works. Now let's take one final step and force grub to use this theme as default. And there's grub out of the way. But we should test just to see how it works. Easy enough, right? You're wrong. You see, there's a stuff behind the scene, which is basically a debugging folder, which I kid you not, has more than 2 hours of footage of this dumbass not knowing what the hell was he doing. Which, funny enough, most of it looks like this. Yeah, kids, this is where Linux gets you. Don't use that, please. Now, after booting up a virtual machine and spending more than 10 minutes trying to copy a folder into grub, we finally get to see this masterpiece. I mean, it looks good, I like it, and it's obvious that it's ours. Now, if you have sharp eyes, you'll see that in here, the distro is called Arch Linux. Now, at the time, doing this voiceover, I couldn't find any video of him trying to fix this issue, but if I did, you'll know. Alright, this is future me doing the voiceover again. He did, in fact, fix it, so yeah, you know. Okay, you have now reached the magical part of the video. If you remember, in the intro I mentioned that the point of this distro is to make Arch much more appealing to install and use. And to this point I have only made it harder, something your wife couldn't do. And I'm gonna fix it now, the Arch. How about a fully automated script that does everything? Installing the distro, no problem. Making partitions couldn't be easier. Having a ready-to-use UI as easy as pushing a button, and all of that without even you needing to know or do anything. Sounds like a dream, but not anymore. Here, you get to know my second best friend, EasyArch. Now, EasyArch is an automatic install config, which the GitHub link is also in the description, and it works flawlessly. But not here and not for me. It's not compatible with what we have. For example, I spent time naming my distro Pixi, which with this line it's completely useless because it'll overwrite. But you also have a GPU, right? And that GPU needs a driver, so we also need an automatic driver installer. Now if you look at here, EasyArch itself does install some necessary packages to work with, but this is garbage, so I should add more later on. As for partitions, arguably the most crucial part, in the original file, you get one ESP as your boot and another for the rest of, well, whatever. I'm pretty sure that's useless here, which is in my config is changed into one for swap partition, another EFI for my boot, and one final ext4 partition as my root. Now, of course, if that's not what you want, I included another manual partitioning config for you to work with. And the most important part, I gotta change this logo. What did you expect? This is how it looks after the changes. You of course get the new logo, a bit of this text, partitions, which you get 3 here now, these monstrosity of packages here, trust me you need them all, plus Git, which I forgot to include, and this new GPU detector, already on set for me to test. Let's bring a virtual machine, casually toss 23 gigs of RAM at it for some reason, and oh yeah, I guess I gotta give permission to it. And would you look at that, you're gonna be asked questions on how you want to install the distro, and after filling them, you get both good and bad news. Good news is, this script works, your distro is installed. Bad news, the GPU part of the config didn't work. Now that's just great. You know what I'm gonna do? Instead of doing everything in the installation window, what the f? Instead of doing everything in the installation window, I'll indicate another separate command for GPU which you can use after the installation is complete. How's that sound? Now, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there is a problem, like every single fucking time. Focus your eyes here. Installing base system. But where? When? What? How? I don't see any sign of any download. Like how much I'm downloading, what am I downloading, how fast am I downloading? Like you see this package manager, that's what I need. Now if I go back to the source code and make a little change at the end of this line, you get to see my mind-blowingly incredibly fast internet speed. On to the next. If you've noticed, every time I try to boot up and run the auto install, it's not auto. I have to chmod it in order for the script to work. Now, I don't want that. Probably you don't either. And that's why by touching some code violently, you get the automated version. The question is whether if it works or not. So let's give it a go, please. Boy, it works. Fully automated. Actually semi-automated, it still has some work. Now, this part, I hope is the final part. And probably the most important. Because we need a script that copies every other script, like grub, hyperland, and all the fancy stuff with it to this point, into the ISO folder and force them all to work while installation is happening. Now just saying it makes it sound easy, but for some ungodly reason, it took an hour and a half to work, which of course you're relieved of watching all of that. You're not here to see me suffer, if you haven't already. So right now, the first thing I should be seeing is grub. Hell yeah! Only a few minute changes and we will be ready to go. So take a look at here. Nothing's wrong, right? Except there are 3 easy arch configs now. For good reasons, of course. This first one is the typical normal config which installs your shit, which you'll see in a bit. Now, the second here is solely for manual partitioning. You may ask why? Well, let's say you have 1 terabyte of NVMe SSD, you rich fuck. You also put away 200 gigabytes of storage for your Linux. Now your wishful ass thinks, oh yeah, I can just install it on my separate partition here, and the rest of my data will be safe. But psych, bad news, it's gonna delete your whole disk. And that's why you have manual partitioning. You can cut your own partition, leaving the rest safe. As for the third one, made purely for package install. Before you ask why, let me just answer. If I combined all these configs into one, and let's say while running the script you reached a part where you should download some packages. Now if for some ungodly reason, your internet decided to just dip, gone, this script also stops, and you have to go through all of this shit again, like users, partitions, your network, all of it will reset, which I guarantee it'll fuck up your system. And you don't want that. So to prevent that all, I separated them. So you first make your partitions, then install the distro, and then you can go ahead with your packages. And if your internet pulls some nasty jokes on you, you'll be safe. Now, Pixi Linux is officially ready to use. Welcome to tutorial on how to install Pixi Linux. Alright, now if you're one of those people that skipped to this part at the start of the video and missed everything, shame on you. Shame on you. You didn't watch my why. Why did you do that? I pulled some nasty jokes which I guarantee would make you laugh, but you missed them all. Shame on you. Now,
Coral, we gotta teach people how to install our distro, Coral. They think they know how, but they're very wrong. We gotta teach them.
Did you enjoy that great impression? Alright, never mind. Now, go ahead and insert your bootable Pixi Linux flash on your PC and let's start the installation. You can also install it on your virtual machine, personal choice. Here's the partition parts. We don't have anything to do with this right now. So instead, if you're installing it on your PC, press Alt Ctrl F2 to open a new window. If you're on a virtual machine, you can do it with an on-screen keyboard. Go ahead and type root here, followed by lsblk. We do this so we can see where do you want your Pixi Linux to install. Find your desired disk, write cfdisk followed by a /dev/ your disk name. For me, it's SDA. Choose GPT and then using your arrow keys, navigate through options down here and choose new. Then enter 1 GB for your boot partition and the rest for your root. You can also add another partition for your swap, which is optional. Now after you're done, choose write down here and quit. You can see your partitions are made. Now press Alt Ctrl F1 to go back to the start. Write down the disk you just made partitions in and choose manual partitioning. write your root partition, which is the bigger one, followed by boot, which is this 1 GB partition. You can also add a swap one, which I said is optional. In my case, I don't need one, so I just press enter. Type Y here and continue. Choose your kernel and then your networking, which I suggest to use Network Manager because it's much more compatible with Hyperland. After that, some packages will start to download, so sit back and relax because this might take some time, depending on your internet speed. After that's done, go ahead and write this command here. chmod +x easyarch2. This is for root access, so you don't need to know much about it, just do it. And then write ./easyarch2.sh. And here, you see the other config. Go ahead and enter your keyboard layout, your username, password, and root password. After that, run chmod +x pixi. Once it has root access, go ahead and type ./pixi copy scripts. Now, we can go ahead and shut down, remove your Linux flash, and reboot. Here, you should see grub. Choose Pixi Linux, wait for it to boot up, and in here, enter your username and the password you just provided. After that, write pixi-hyperland.setup. Now, you might encounter an error here just like I did. To fix that, write this command, enter resolve.conf, and change this name server to Google's DNS. And that should fix everything. Press Ctrl O followed by Ctrl X and run the same command again. Provide your password here and wait for it to download whatever it needs. Once it's done, you're met with your Hyperland installation. Now this part is fully user-based. You can choose whatever you're comfortable with. You can use tab to navigate between options and enter to select them. I want yay, so I'll press enter to select it and tab to choose OK. You can also choose whatever you need to install along with Hyperland here and hit OK, then yes. And Hyperland is getting installed. You're also going to be asked various questions on your preferred Hyperland setup, which read them carefully and choose whatever you want. At the end, you're going to be asked to reboot. And after reboot, you're met with Pixi Linux. This was truly an overwhelming but incredible project we've ever made. The only thing that kept us going was you guys. So thank you all for all your support and love, and thanks for believing in us. We are so grateful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification button, and if you feel like it, share your Pixi Linux experience with us. And like always, take care, stay hydrated, and bye-bye.
She in my phone out the blue and she said she miss me, I ain't tryna hear it. I'ma keep on pushing P, ain't playing games.